The next part of our lesson deals with special right triangles. You dealt with these last year in geometry, and so we're going to give a little refresher. The first one we'll look at is our 45, 45, 90 special right triangle. If we have a 45, 45, 90, that means that the legs here will be the same matching length because the opposite angles are matching, and that this hypotenuse will be that leg length times the square root of 2. So if we take a look at example D, we have here that the hypotenuse is 4 root 2, which means that this is x square root of 2, and being that these are both x, that means that x is equal to 4. Looking at a second example, this one, I see here, this is x, and this is x root 2. This one is side length 3, so that means that this one is equal to 3. And because these match and this is times square root of 2, this one is 3 times the square root of 2. That is the easier of the two. The next one that's a little more challenging is our 30, 60, 90 right triangle. And this one states that our hypotenuse is x, our shorter leg is half of x, and the longer leg is that shorter leg times the square root of 3. So taking a look at this first example, I see that we have our longer leg is the square root of 3. And that is equal to our shorter leg times the square root of 3. And so therefore, that means that this x, in order for that to match, x has to equal 1. And if we want to look at it mathematically, we're saying if we set up similar triangles, we have here that the square root of 3, it matches with the square root of 3, x times the square root of 3 over 2. And I know this looks messy. And that we have this one, our x, is equal to, matches with x over 2. So I know this looks really, really crazy. So then if we do a cross product, which is where it gets kind of hard, I would actually rather take and multiply over here by the reciprocal, which cancels these x's, so I'm left with 2. And then here, same thing, multiply this by 2 over x times the square root of 3. And then what happens is the square root of 3's cancel. So you have 2 equals 2 over x. Well, the only way 2 divided by x can equal 2 is if x equals 1, therefore making this equal to 1/2, because the hypotenuse is double what the short leg is. Looking at a second example, we have here this, remember, I'm going to write them in red. This is x square root of 3 over 2. This is x over 2, and this is x. Now remember, this short leg is half of this hypotenuse. So if 1 is the length of the hypotenuse, or the short leg, that means that this one has to equal 2. Therefore, when we put it in here, that means that this one has to be equal to 2 times the square root of 3 over 2. However, these cancel, leaving me with this equal to the square root of 3. Your job now is to go ahead and try these U-Try problems, bring with you to class tomorrow so we can get through the POD quickly, and have a good rest of your day.